Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome to something a little bit different. Yes, today we're going to be jumping in and taking a quick look at my F125 wheel settings. Now, I get asked this all the time about what wheel and pedals I'm running. I've got a Trakracer TR120 rig, I've got a Fanatec CSL GT DD with the boost kit, and then my steering wheel is a Fanatec Formula V 2.5X. I'm also running the CSL Elite V3 pedals. Of course, if you want to buy any Fanatec products, please do consider using my link down in the description. It doesn't cost you any extra, but some of the money that obviously you give to them actually goes to me, so it is greatly supported, obviously, if you do use my link. But if we head then into the game, of course, obviously we've got two wheel sets to kind of look at. Obviously, the ones baked into F125, these will be useful for all of you. So if you're on Fanatec, Logitech, Thrustmaster, Moser, anything like that, these could be helpful for you as well. Of course, mine are set up for a direct drive wheel, but hopefully they'll give you a good idea as to what you need to be running inside the game as well. Now, to access your settings, you head over to settings, rather unsurprisingly, and then if we head over to the controls, vibration, and force feedback, it's moved inside F125. Into there, of course, originally you've been given kind of a basic profile. For me, it was the Club Sport steering wheel, but of course I've created a custom setup inside the game that I've called TT, because I never worry about what I'm calling them inside the game. First of all, we'll take a look kind of at all my binds, everything like that. It's nothing particularly exciting. A lot of them are the same as they were inside F124, so nothing too surprising there. If you want to run everything exactly as I have, you can pause the video and obviously go through all of these. There are a lot of them inside F125, and of course quite a few of them overlap with each other as well, depending on whether you're in the menus or in a race or in the pit lane or anything like that as well there. So you can see, yeah, all of those are fairly normal. I've done none of like the kind of MFD custom setup ones or any of the UDP ones either. I might do that down the line actually. When I move house, I'm planning on trying to get a second button box put into my rig as well there. But this is the important bit then, if we head into the vibration and the force feedback. Of course, obviously I've got force feedback enabled, otherwise I wouldn't be able to feel anything inside the game. 110 force feedback though, vibration and force feedback strength. I found F125 normally to be a little bit on the light side, so I'm running 110. 70 on the on-track effects. As you can see, they affect obviously like the track surface. Of course, we've seen curbs get massively changed for F125, so it helps you kind of get a little bit of a feel for that. But of course, most of those actually come through the rumble strip effects as well, which I've got down on 40. Again, slightly higher than I've ran in previous years, but again, I just found it to be a little bit better. Kind of, again, give you a slightly better feel of what's going on with the car, because, like I said, everything just feels ever so slightly light inside this year's game. Grass and gravel, otherwise known as the off-track effects, I've got running on 25. Again, hopefully you're not going to be spending too much time in the gravel trap on this game. I also find, of course, for example, in towards the final sector at Australia, if you dip a wheel out in the gravel off the other side of the curb, sometimes you'll find like the wheels trying to drag you in. So I have that set quite low, so hopefully I can try and pull the car away from those kind of situations. And then the pit stop effect, I've just left on 50. It doesn't affect anything for me, but if you've got like the Logitech wheel that I've used before, it is pretty cool with those wheels as well. Wheel damper, I've got set to 0, because all that does is kind of reduce the force feedback through your wheel as well, and I kind of want the raw experience as best as possible. And then maximum wheel rotation, exactly the same as I had it on F124. I've got it set to 400. Some people have been saying they've been better running it back at 360, like on the previous games, but 400 for me works absolutely fantastically. But anyway, let's head then into Fanatec settings, where of course we'll really try and dial in the base itself. Well, here we are then heading into the Fanalab settings. As you can see, we get lovely little pictures of my steering wheel, pedals, everything like that. For some reason, my handbrake and shifter aren't showing up for whatever reason. But here we are then taking a look at the set 5, of course. The sensitivity set in the wheel is the 400, of course, identical to what we have got inside the game. Force feedback strength is set to 80%. Again, if you run kind of the actual wheelbase itself at a full 100%, you can find it clips quite a lot as well. So you want to run it higher in game and ever so slightly lower in your actual wheel. Force feedback scale I've got set to peak. The natural damper I've got set at 50%. The natural friction and inertia I've always got off. They don't make any difference on the F1 games. And then the force feedback interpolation filter as well is just on the default 11. Again, I found it makes no difference whatsoever. The force effect intensity I've got set maxed out at 100%. Again, you kind of want to be getting that feel as best as you can. You want to be getting all the little bumps and kind of undulations in the road underneath you. And of course, if you bang wheels with another car and all that kind of thing. Game force effect strength I've got set to 110. The game spring effect strength and the game damper effect strength I've got set to 100. Again, the code is EA games. They're not the best in the world, but they're pretty good with kind of their own built-in force feedback. And then the brake level indicator I've got disabled as well there. The other big one, of course, is the brake force. That I've always got set at 30% inside any game that I play as well there. And you can see, of course, there are a few other little settings that I can set with my actual steering wheel. But again, I've got those kind of left on default as well there. But yeah, hopefully this video has helped you out. I apologise, it is a very, very wordy one. But of course, just pause it if you kind of want to have a look at something in particular as well. Of course, we're going to have more F125 content coming later on today, so make sure you get yourself subscribed for that. And yeah, we'll be back very soon with more Formula 1 content.